Hey everyone, welcome to the Tarot Writer. I am back. Sorry for the delay. I had to go to work, so I was unable to do readings for a while. But I'm back, and I am not going to do the readings by sign. To do 12 every month is a lot with a full-time job, so I'm going to be doing only the elements of the sign. So we have the cups, wands, pentacles, and swords. Right now I'm up to the cups, so we are doing Pisces, Scorpio, and Cancer. Welcome, water signs. Let's get into your reading. Every month at the Tarot Writer, I give you a quote of the month. So for you, I have Carl Jung. Your quote is, the most terrifying thing to accept, the most terrifying thing is to accept yourself completely. So we have to open ourselves up to who we are, all the good, the bad, the ugly, and that's what Carl Jung says. All right, so thank you for joining me. Let's get into your reading for the month of October 2020. Let's see what we have for you guys for this month. Hopefully everybody's doing well, and thank you for following me. If you have not done so already, please like, subscribe, comment, share. It means a lot to me. Thank you so much. All right, let's get into it. Let's see what we have for you, Scorpio, Pisces, and Cancer. Let's see what we have going on for you this month. All right, so I feel with the Seven of Swords that you're figuring out your obstacles, like you are getting around them some way, that if there was a delay with something or somebody, that you're figuring it out. I see that there have been challenges. Things haven't been easy. It's taken some mental work to figure out how you're going to do things. But with it in the reverse, I feel like, there's a possibility that you're getting through it. Maybe some of these obstacles aren't as bad as you thought they were going to be. Maybe these conversations that you've been needing to have with people aren't as complicated as you thought they were going to be. I like to see the Seven of Swords in reverse because it tells me that you're getting through whatever obstacle it is. And you're meeting the challenge on the other side with a little bit smoother precision than you imagined. Things don't always have to be very difficult or as challenging as we think they are. So if this is the way you're feeling about a situation, that you're getting through it step by step, that these challenges are not as complicated as we thought, then that's a great thing, because what you're going to meet on the other side of that challenge is that you can do it, that you are in control up to a certain point, and that you just kind of have to put one foot in front of the other. And you will meet your goal. You'll get to where you have to go. It's just one foot in front of the other. So that's not a bad way to start. Okay, and we have the Wheel of Fortune, which is a really nice card to see next to the Seven of Swords reversed. I feel like with the Wheel of Fortune here, you are putting a lot of these past challenges in your past. Things that used to stop you. Things where you thought, this is too difficult. This is an obstacle I won't be able to get over. You're finding your way not just around it, but dealing with the issues at hand. And I feel like that's going to bring you into a place of getting that wheel to turn over, because this has been quite a learning lesson for you to maneuver yourself in different ways, to communicate in different ways. It's not just, you're not just facing challenges and, being stunted by them. You've grown through these challenges. And I think the universe sees that, and you can feel it yourself, that you've overcome so much, that because this is in the reverse, it's not that everything is going smoothly and that you have nothing to worry about, but those challenges that used to be are no longer. That you've kind of met your match. You've gone through the wheel of, you've had all these experiences and these lessons. You know, if the Wheel of Fortune kind of shows up sometimes as like all these lessons we have to learn, well, you've done it and it's upright, and I feel that wheel is going to turn over and bring you in more lessons, sure, more challenges, sure, because that's what life is about, but it's also going to bring you in some good karma. It's also going to bring you into the next stage of your life, because you're no longer seeing those old challenges as obstacles. They're just things that you had to adapt to, go with the flow, trying to understand why it's even in your quote unquote way in the first place. But I think once you realize that you are actually fairly, or not fairly, but very capable of taking on these challenges, because you've been there, you've done it, you've learned, you've grown, you've developed, then that's where the wheel comes in and says, great, let's continue on. You've done all this, let's go. Let's show up for you in another way. Let's bring you more stuff for you to not challenge yourself, not necessarily that, but you've grown. You know, your reality is going to start to shift now because you're outside of those components that were kind of like holding you back a little. So this is Wheel of Fortune is here as your karma. It's showing up that your wheel is turning. The universe sees that you've learned old lessons and that you're moving on. Okay. The Empress in reverse. I think with the Empress in reverse, right now, this is an energy that's coming to you. And that's why it's in reverse. It's not upright yet because the blossoming, the growth and development still has to come onto the other side. That wheel is turning into something else. So you're going to start planting those seeds with the Empress. You will, for example, an analogy, you will start to impregnate your new life. You're going to fill it up with new careers, new people, new relationships. Okay, so don't get scared when you see the Empress reverse, like, oh, that's a bad thing, that means infertility, or that means emptiness. Not necessarily so. It's just that this wheel is turning. So the Empress in reverse is simply the flowering of something that needs to become. You're not quite there yet. You're still kind of coming out of this Seven of Swords reversed into the Wheel of Fortune. You are plotting the course of your life, the new foundation from which you want to grow from. You're just starting to understand what you want to receive in your reality, what kinds of relationships you need, because right here, back here, this was quite troubling. You know, you weren't communicating with somebody right. You weren't, there was almost like there was confusion, there was complexity to a lot of issues, and you've gotten past that. So now we're waiting for this new growth, and the universe is saying, okay, now what do you want? What do you want to fill your belly with? So the choice is yours. The choice is yours. It's, you're going to harvest soon. At some point you're going to harvest that which you plant. So the universe is kind of waiting to see what that is going to be. What do you want in your life? Okay, as the Justice falls under the Seven of Swords, that we were just talking about the challenges that you had maybe with communicating with other people and the very complicated relationships perhaps of your past. And I think the Justice showing up here upright tells us that in your exterior environment with your friendships, your relationships and job and everything, the environment it's balancing out again, right? We learn from all these experiences, and the justice has brought in fairness. You might not have liked the way it all worked out for you. Maybe it wasn't perfect. Maybe you wanted some sense of revenge, or not just revenge, or not, I shouldn't say revenge, but like more justice. But whatever happened is the way it should be. And you might want to manipulate it and, have something more happen to a person, place, or thing, but justice has been served. It is the way it should be. It has balanced out. And it's upright, and it's time to move on. Take all of our experiences from, this complexity of swords right here, this jumbled swords of communication and ideas and the way we behave. But it's done. It's over. Judgment has taken place. Justice has taken place. The scales are balanced, and it's for us to understand that who we are now is because of all these experiences. And let's not look at the other people and say, well, how come they didn't get their fair share? How come this didn't happen to that person? Or how come I only got this much? You got this much because that's what you got. We have three major arcanas here. So this is a big spiritual stage of growing that you're moving into. So try to think about the now and the present moment, that you have made it to a certain place at this moment, and everything is as it's supposed to be right now. And as always, worry about yourself and don't worry about what other people are getting or not getting. It's all about yourself. And as Carl Jung says, the most terrifying thing is to accept yourself completely. And I think that's how you have to move on, is that this is who you are now, not the justice, but you have made it to this point. All is in order. And now it's time to start rebirthing, regrowing, throwing the seeds down of change, because you are who you are at this point. What do you want to create in your world? The Empress is waiting. Okay, let's see what else we have. As your middle card, we have the Three of Swords. So that is simply indicative of this loss and pain and heartbreak of the past, having to endure a lot of pain. But with the pain and the loss of your experiences also comes acceptance and healing. Again, my eye just keeps going back to the Seven of Swords, which can represent so many things for all of us. But it's like you're coming out of that. You're coming out of that stage of, maybe it was manipulation tactics of somebody else, maybe yourself. There was some kind of deceit, being not, communication not being very balanced or fair, somebody being very evasive. And I think it's taken quite a while to move on to that. But with the Three of Swords at the heart of your reading, no pun intended, at the heart, you've suffered a lot. The fact that Wheel of Fortune falls above it and the Justice next to it, it tells me that this was a very important, significant discovery in your life about your own heart. Maybe you had to learn a tough lesson about yourself and who you are and what you accept into your life and what you won't accept into your life. Our pain shows us places within ourselves that needs growing and developing, or needs, it shows us who we are when we're in pain. We know what we like and what we don't like. How we suffer indicates, in a way, how to move forward. You know, if somebody keeps hurting you per se, you know, and you keep feeling that pain and you keep going back, wounded warrior, you know, if you keep going back, you're just going to keep reliving that same pain until, you know, you can move on from it. And I think, again, that's why this Empress is reversed, because you're still possibly in some of that pain. You're still looking back on it. You're still acknowledging that there was a source of hurt, pain, you know, it could just even be loss, regret, you know, heartbreak. You know, it doesn't have to be love heartbreak. It can be, but it doesn't have to be. But with the Justice here, it does tell me that maybe something just wasn't fair for you. You know, it just wasn't fair, and you felt it, it hurt, and you're still at the stage now before moving on that you need to heal from this. So the first line is telling me that you've gotten yourself out of some situation that possibly had been a perpetual thing over and over and over again. So you are moving on to new growth. It's going to take some time because you still need to heal. And as long as you keep looking back and feeling that pain and seeing what happened to you, and maybe even feeling like the victim too much, then you're going to stay here for a while. That Empress isn't going to turn over itself. The universe is waiting for you to feel good, to have your heart replenished, to have your heart kind of like sewn up again, beating heartily and ready to go, you know, because your life is supposed to feel good. Okay. And that's what the universe is kind of waiting for you. The universe says, okay, we'll heal, get ready, let's keep going. But it's not going to happen until you're ready. And don't think you can trick the universe, because the universe knows. I know, Daisy. I know. My dog wants to play. I can't play right now. I'm doing a video. All right, let's see what else we have for Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. No, I jumped. The World. Once you heal, once there's healing, once you can move on and move past the trauma, the heartache, the headache, the bleeding, the pain, it will close out. With the World card here, you will have victory. It's a door that will close, and you will move on forever from these kinds of people, from this situation, from this very complicated way of being that you used to be. Okay, so the World here indicates that this was a giant stage of your life that needed to close out. That is why you have the Three of Swords, because it hurt. Whatever this was, it hurt. And I get it. The universe gets it. Your God gets it. Whatever you believe in gets it. It might take you a couple weeks or months, hopefully not too long, but to really close this out and fully understand what happened, to shut the door and be liberated from this person, place, situation, and to move on, because it is going to bring you such bounty. It's going to bring you in everything that the universe can provide you, if that's what you want. But you have to heal. You can't put your heart out there when it's still injured. You know, you can't run on an injured leg. And with the Hierophant here, reverse, it tells me that you're no longer going to do things the way you used to do them. The Hierophant reverse is unconformity. You're not going to conform to that same person. Okay, sorry about that. My dog barked. I had to go see what was going on. All right, so the Hierophant reversed. As you kind of close out the door to the old world, you're walking into a whole new world of beliefs, a whole new world of systems and how you build your life. You're not going to do things the way you used to do them. You might go and do things a little bit more unorthodox. So, for example, let's just say this is about a love reading to you. You might say date a man or a woman who you typically wouldn't. You might not find this person typically attractive normally in your past, but now it's a whole new you. You have a whole new set of values, a whole new way about you. It's not the traditional you. You've moved on, that wheel turned, you healed, and here you are to say, I've changed. I am not that same person that you remember. And I think it's because you're just becoming not somebody else exactly, you're just becoming more you. And I don't think it's a you that you really ever saw before. So maybe you're still kind of holding on to that old you. You're still licking your own wounds. But I think it's time. Well, you'll know when it's time. Okay, let's get the last card out here. And the High Priestess. So that new you is going to bubble up. That new you is going to send you messages of this is who you are. This is who you've desperately needed to become as your body and mind and soul morphs into this other kind of character that you didn't ever see before. The High Priestess whispers in your ear, this is you. It's not something that can be learned from any school. It's from your own decoding of the self that you're starting to realize and not actually swim against the currents. You're going with the flow of your own intuition, but it's going to come up, bubble up through the untraditional way that you typically are, or the traditional way that you typically were, that you're going to surprise yourself in many ways. Okay. And as your two outcome cards, we have the Nine of Swords and the Death card, which is not very surprising to me because with the Nine of Wands here, I still feel like you're looking backwards. You're looking back on your past pain. When the universe says, go ahead, change, let go. And you're having a really hard time letting go. The more you hold on, the more you will stay in pain. The universe wants you to embrace your change, shed the past, let yourself move on. I think somebody once said, a book I was reading, that it's something about like, I don't know. It's something about like it's really simple to change, but it's hard to do. I can't think of it right now. I don't know. Forget it. But I see with the swords pointed toward death, it's you're having a hard time moving on and letting go. But there is such a wonderful world for you that wants to turn over, that wants to give and give and give, but you don't get until you actually heal. And I think you heal by moving past these things, by acknowledging the things that you've learned and understanding that you're beyond it now. Everything is balanced out. You got what you got, that person or situation got what they got. Okay, so, and then as your energy / advice card is, as your energy card, if this is the place that you're coming from, obviously we have the Three of Swords here and linked with the Five of Pentacles, that don't come from this place of lack. You have so much more to share and to give. Accept yourself. As Carl Jung said, the most terrifying thing is to accept yourself completely. accept yourself, that you have a whole heart. Your heart hasn't shattered. It's still there beating. And you need to come not from this place of poverty, of lack, but to see yourself as the Empress that wants to receive and receive all the blessings of the world. But you can't do that when you're stuck in this energy. Okay, so there is a lot of healing that needs to happen, but I'm not saying that you need to hurry it up, but acknowledge your pain and see if you could move past it. Let that world, Wheel of Fortune card turn over. If there is somebody who you've been going round and round and round with, a bad partnership, business partnership, whatever it is, could be a family member, lover, you need to figure out what you need to do, but you're a strong individual who has gotten past something already. So let that wheel turn over. You're almost there. Okay, thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment. I would love it if you subscribe to my channel. If you like my videos, I'm going to try to do at least 4 a month, if not more, but I'm going to start with 4 videos. All right, y'all, thank you so much for joining me. Have a great day.